Time now for the Bullpen Show, where we get a chance to warm up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Now, let's head out to the bullpen.
Hello, and welcome to the NLWN-TV studios. Rick Olson here, and today we were surprised to discover that we had to get warmed up in the bullpen to bring you Colfax Viking Baseball as the 2-3 Vikings play host to the 1-4 Glenwood City Hilltoppers. This game was originally scheduled to be played in Glenwood City. However, due to poor field conditions there, it has been moved to Colfax. Once again, at the end of last week, Mother Nature wasn't very cooperative as the wet forced the Vikings to postpone one game and cancel another. The game with the Elmwood Plum City Wolves was made up on Friday, but it was moved to Plum City where the Vikings pitching staff threw a combined no-hitter as they emerged victorious 16-1. The Wolves will now come to Colfax on May 15th. Now, the game scheduled against Osseo Fairchild has been canceled, and that sets up today's game. Coming up in this edition of the Bullpen Show, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the 2-3 Colfax Vikings and the 1-4 Glenwood City Hilltoppers. Then we'll get to know one of the Viking players in Viking Profile, and then we'll send it out to the ballpark for some exciting high school boys baseball. That's all coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to the Bullpen Show on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Welcome back to the Bullpen, where we're getting warmed up for today's game between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The 2-3 Vikings are coming off a 16-1 combined no-hitter win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves back on Friday. Leading the way at the plate in that game was Dylan Hedela, who went 2 for 2, scored 2 runs, and picked up 4 RBI. Also contributing was Mitch Medine, who went 3 for 4 at the plate and scored 4 runs, as well as Cade Anderson, who went 2 for 3, scored a run, and picked up 2 RBI. Earning the win on the mound was Medine, who went 4 innings, giving up no hits and allowing only 1 unearned run. He only walked 2 and struck out 6 Wolves. Now, pitching the final inning in relief was Zach Hedela, who also allowed no hits and struck out 2. The Hilltoppers come into today's game boasting a 1-4 overall and conference record. So far this season, the Hilltoppers are led at the plate by Max Jansen, who's hitting right around 500. He's followed by Peyton Thune and Jaden Quinn, and they're both hitting over 300 with averages of 400 and 357 respectively. On the mound, Jansen leads the way for the Hilltoppers with a 4.77 ERA and a whip of 2.13. He's followed by Stephen Booth, who has picked up Glenwood City's only win of the season with an ERA of 5.73. So far this season, the Vikings are led at the plate by Dylan Hedela, who's hitting at a .667 average, including a pair of doubles. He's also scored 5 runs and picked up 9 RBI. Following Hedela is Mitch Medine, who's hitting at .643 with 3 doubles, 10 runs, and 6 RBI. Also hitting over 300 for the Vikings are Mason Yarrington and Zach Hedela, who are batting at .357 and .333 respectively. Now on the mound, the Vikings are being led by Medine, who has compiled a 2-1 record while pitching 12 innings and giving up 8 hits, allowing 11 runs, 7 of which were earned, walking 11 and striking out 19 for an earned run average of 4.08. He's followed by Ben Bailey, who has a 0-1 record. Now, he's pitched 5 innings and given up 8 runs, only 2 of which were earned, for a 2.80 ERA. Coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Viking players on Viking Profile. You're warming up in the bullpen on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we get to know one of this season's Colfax Viking players. And now Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Mason Yarrington, who's a junior here at Colfax High School. You're Brian. Yeah. All right, let's try it this way. Senior. You know, these all do turn into Jell-O after a while. Today on Viking Profile, we're talking with Brian Tusho, who's a senior here at Colfax High School. And Brian, we know you play baseball, but what are some other activities at school you're involved with?
I played football and did powerlifting, and now we're on to the last sport of the high school career.
Oh boy, there's light at the end of the tunnel, isn't there? Okay, so when did you start playing baseball, and what kind of an experience have you had?
T-ball was when I first started, and I've loved playing it. It's just been a great experience.
Kind of gets in your blood, doesn't it?
Mm.
So what's the most important thing you've learned from playing baseball?
Just have fun.
Okay. So when you're not playing baseball, you're not here at school, what are some other occupied or interested?
Hunting and fishing.
All right. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
Which kind?
Pumpkin.
All right. Favorite major league team?
Brewers.
Now, do you recall your very first major league game that you ever went to?
I do. We went to a Brewer game and sat in the nosebleeds and saw a streaker on the field.
I was going to ask you what your most memorable event is, but I think that would probably qualify. How old were you when that happened?
First grade, maybe.
For a first grader, that would be a very memorable experience. All right. If you had a superpower, what do you think that would be?
To fly.
All right. So you have this ability to fly. Of course, you have to have a superhero name to go with that. What would that be?
Flying Brian.
Flying Brian. I like the rhyme of that. So we're talking with Brian Tuschel today on Viking Profile. And Brian, what are your plans for after high school?
Road construction.
Okay. And how about a shout out to the family?
Mom, Dad, Trisha.
Okay. When people come to Viking games and they want to see you play, what position should they look at, or what number are you going to be wearing?
Number 10, left field.
Number 10 or left field. Keep your eyes open for that one. All right. We want to thank Brian Tuschel for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more of the Bullpen Show.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Welcome back to the Bullpen Show. Today, the Vikings will take on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. The Vikings are trying to build upon their 16-1 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, while the Hilltoppers are trying to bounce back from their 15-12 loss to the Boyceville Bulldogs. So the stage is set for some exciting high school baseball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now, in just a moment, I'll join our broadcast crew at Colfax High School as we bring you all the action of today's Dun St. Croix Conference game between the Colfax Vikings and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to the Bullpen Show on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
You've been tuned to the Bullpen Show, where we've had an opportunity to get warmed up for today's Colfax Viking baseball game. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Colfax Viking baseball.
Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Colfax Vikings baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV, along with Colfax High School proudly present today's Colfax Vikings baseball game. Now, it's out to the ballpark and today's Colfax Viking baseball game.
And good afternoon, and welcome to Colfax High School. Rick Olson here, along with Joe Doucette and Dan Petchow on the camera, and we now have everything up and running the way it's supposed to be. So today we have the Vikings coming off a 16-1 win over the Elmwood Plum City Wolves, where the pitchers combined for a no-hitter in a 5-inning game. And they're taking on the Glenwood City Hilltoppers. And the Hilltoppers are 1-4, and as the managers are meeting with, well, the only umpire we've seen so far out at home plate. Joe, why don't you let us know who's in this game?
You bet, Rick. For Glenwood City, coached by Dean Fairweather, leading off the center fielder, Jaden Quinn. Batting second, the third baseman, Noah Bright. Batting third, the catcher, Peyton Thune. Batting fourth, the shortstop, Max Jansen. Batting fifth and pitching, Stephen Booth. Batting sixth, the DH, Blake Fairweather. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Aaron Brigham. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Vinnie Wheeler. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Caleb Klinger. Playing left field is Andrew Blazer. For Kirk Seacrest's 2-3 Vikings, leading off the pitcher, Mitch Medine. Batting second, the shortstop, Mason Yarrington. Batting third, the catcher, Dylan Hedela. Batting fourth, first baseman, Ashton Greenwell. Batting fifth, center fielder, Cade Anderson. Batting sixth, left fielder, Brian Tuchel. Batting seventh, second baseman, Drew Buechner. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Elijah Ensminger. And batting ninth, the third baseman, Zach Hedela.
Okay, and we now have a second umpire, and so we're just about ready to get things rolling here. Vikings have a pretty tough act to follow after that game in Plum City, where they threw that combined no-hitter. No-hitters are tough to come by.
Man.
And
at any level, you bet.
So maybe they found a little something.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see Mitchell throw today. You know, Coach Seacrest talks highly of him, and he throws strikes, and should be a fun game.
He got credit for the win over in Plum City, going four innings, and of course allowing no hits. He did allow one run, but it was an unearned run. Guess you can't do much about those. As Mitch Medine is out there taking his warm-up tosses, taking a look around the fielding positions for the Vikings. Zach Hedel is at third, Mason Yarrington at short, Drew Buechner at second. Ashton Greenwell is at first, Dylan Hedel behind the plate. The outfield is Brian Tuchel, Cade Anderson, and Elijah Ensminger. And Mitch Medine went over toward the bullpen, or toward the dugout, I should say, and got a hold of manager Kirk Seacrest, and they're taking a look at the mound. Something not quite right with it, and
That looks pretty close to his landing spot.
And if that isn't right, it could end up being a long day for Mitch. He's got a couple more tosses to go.
And Medine's Rick is off to a great start, pitching and hitting. You know, he's got big numbers, 643 batting average.
That leads the Vikings.
Actually, I think Dylan Hedel is a little bit higher, maybe.
I think you're right, 667.
Yeah.
Which is a switch, because going into the game last Friday, it was the other way around.
Yep.
But, you know what, if your top two hitters are hitting in the 600s, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to do a little bit of mound surgery, it looks like. So I'll tell you what, while they're taking care of that, why don't we take this quick time out? You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Jason, let's go see your room.
No, that's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Bear, because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground, because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously, and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope, I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay. You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in. Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
And it looks like they've almost got the mound repairs done.
Yeah, you definitely need it solid where you're going to land. I like what I've seen in just the few warm-up pitches. He looks like he throws hard and everything is right in there.
And the shovel, bucket, and some dirt go walking off. A little bit of raking on the mound, and we should be just about ready to get things rolling here. Mitch Medine comes into this game with a 408 earned run average. And I had some other information about Mitch here. He's got 12 innings pitched. He's given up 8 hits. He struck out 19 in those 12 innings, and he's walked 11. He has a whip, which some people think is a more important statistic than the earned run average, of 1.58, and you want to keep it right down there around 1 if possible.
Yeah.
And he kind of got rocked a little bit the first outing of the season, and but since then, Mitch has been pretty tough. All right, stepping up to get things started, Jaden Quinn batting .357 for the Hilltoppers. And the first pitch is a strike.
I think the number that Mitch would like to get down is maybe the walks, Rick. Little curveball or slider, a great pitch.
Swing and foul tipped. And two strikes. And somehow we have lost our little score bug, and I don't know where it went, but it went. 2-2 is the count.
Just missed on that 0-2. Good pitch. You definitely want to paint a corner on an 0-2.
High and away, and the count goes full. And the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. So 1 out. And the pitch is outside to Noah Bright. Bright comes into the game batting .200. Medine winds and fires. It's outside for a ball. Here's the wind. And the pitch. High for ball 2. Just underway from Colfax. Medine winds and fires. Strike called. Counts even at 2-2 to Noah Bright. The 2-2 pitch.
No, I think that was 3-1 before.
I think you were right.
Yeah. So much easier to pitch from ahead.
So Bright takes the walk.
I'm a big believer in that first pitch strike. It gives you so much more options.
Peyton Thune is the batter. That one missed just low. Peyton Thune's the catcher, batting .400. And the pitch. Squares to bunt, picked up, it's fair ball, throw to first, got him. So the sacrifice bunt is complete.
Good play by Dylan Hedela behind the plate. Got on it quick.
So 2 down. Runner on second. And the pitch. That's a called strike. Medine checks the runner at second, and the pitch. Strike called. No balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, I sure like that breaking ball that Mitchell's throwing.
Medine fires, and it's fouled back out of play. Count holds at 0-2. And the pitch is high. Counts even at 2, or now goes to 1-2. Two down, runner at second. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. Dropped by Hedela, throw down to first to complete the out. So for the Hilltoppers, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We've completed a half inning. The Hilltoppers nothing, and the Vikings coming to bat. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Kyle's Market in Colfax, locally owned since 2007 and is a proud supporter of Colfax High School scholarship and athletics. Kyle's Meat Department is second to none, and they're known for their homemade smoked meats. Don't forget the fresh veggies, cheese, and frozen foods. Kyle's Market has got it all. Kyle's Market is your hometown market where customer service is supersized. They'll even carry your groceries out to your car. That's Kyle's Market in Colfax.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson along with Joe Doucette. And Joe, you were saying as we went to that commercial break that it's pretty easy to see why Mitch Medine is the ace of the staff.
Yeah, I like that inning. He threw strikes, he threw hard, had a nice breaking ball. You know, I think looking at his stats, maybe, you know, just stay away from the walks today and make him put the ball in the play, and I think he's going to have a great outing.
Due up for the Vikings are Medine, Yarrington, and Dylan Hedela.
You know, Mitch is swinging a hot bat too, Rick. We talked about that. Them are big numbers.
In fact, as I look at this, the top 3 in the Viking lineup have a combined batting average of .556.
That's pretty good.
It's going to be pretty intimidating for a starting pitcher to be facing that. So leading off, Mitch Medine, batting .643. Bottom of the first inning. And the first pitch is a called strike. On the mound, Stephen Booth. And the pitch. Line shot right back off the glove of Booth. Over to second, picked up there and thrown out at first. Klinger to Brigham for the put out.
Boy, Mitch hit that right on the button, Rick.
Popped right out of Booth's glove before he even realized it had hit it. That's going to bring up Mason Yarrington. Curveball called strike.
I'm another firm believer in that. You know, a lot of people look first pitch fastball, and he threw a nice little curveball for a strike there.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. It appears as though this umpire likes that outside corner.
Yeah, yeah.
And the pitch. Ground ball over to second. Klinger can't find the handle. He throws it over to first, and it's not in time. It's going to be an error on Klinger at second base. But Yarrington is on safely at first. And that's going to bring up Dylan Hedela.
Another hot hitter, Rick.
667 is his batting average right now. Yarrington taking a lead at first. Booth steps off. Now in the major leagues, he'd only be allowed to do that one more time.
Yeah. I like those new rules, though,
I do
Rick.
too. It
Yeah.
keeps that game moving right along.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. One ball, no strikes. One out. Runner on first. And the throw over to first, and Yarrington back in safely. And the pitch, outside for a ball. Glenwood City lineup out in the field. Bright at third, Jansen at short, Klinger at second, Brigham at first. Behind the plate is Thune, Blazer, Quinn, and Wheeler through the outfield. And the pitch in the dirt for a ball. 3 balls, no strikes.
Think you'll green light Dylan in this situation?
I wouldn't be surprised. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 4. So Hedela draws a base on balls. Runners at first and second. And we have a courtesy runner for Hedela.
Now, one thing I noticed about Glenwood pitching staff, you know, a lot of walks, Rick, 32 walks in 24 innings, and it's got to hurt you.
Bryson Tuchel running for Hedela as a courtesy runner. Swung on and fouled back. Circling under it is Thune, and he makes the catch.
That was a nice catch.
Ashton Greenwell fouls out.
Yeah, those plays are tougher than they look to get your back to the field.
And it tends to want to come back to the field.
Yep.
That's going to bring up Cade Anderson. Anderson batting .286. Runners at first and second. 2 down.
Cade had a nice game against Plum City Elmwood and a couple big hits.
Booth keeping a pretty close eye to Yarrington out there at second. And a pop foul. Out of play, strike 1.
I know last week, Rick, we talked about these key spots where you get a couple kids on and, you know, great time for a big hit.
Booth at the belt. And the pitch, high. Counts even at 1-1. And the throw over to second, and back in time is Yarrington. Throw wasn't quite on the money. Trying to hit Jensen, but he got it to him before he got to the bag, and Yarrington was able to make use of the time to get back safely. Needless to say, though, Yarrington has Booth's attention, which can sometimes be quite the weapon. Here's the pitch. It's high. 2 balls and a strike. Kate Anderson at the plate. And the pitch. Fly ball out into left center field. Over there under it to make the catch is Quinn. So for the Vikings, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error and 2 were left on base. So we've completed 1 inning and we have no score from Colfax. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Known for its well-manicured grounds and greens, Whitetail Golf Course is an 18-hole golf course carved into the countryside of northwest Wisconsin. They can host your next golf outing, wedding and reception, reunion, birthday, anniversary or other social event. On Friday nights, come out to Whitetail for their famous Friday night fish, shrimp and chicken dinner served from 5 to 9 every Friday evening through October. Conveniently located between Colfax and Elk Mound, Whitetail Golf Course is just a 15-minute drive from both Eau Claire and Menominee.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, getting ready to start the top of the 2nd inning. A chilly day, but it's dry, so we can play ball. Stephen Booth, the pitcher, leading off for the Hilltoppers. He'll be followed by Fairweather and Brigham. Booth coming into the game batting 182. He hits a fly ball out to center field. Kate Anderson under it, and he makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, I think if Mitchell can keep getting ahead, he's going to have a great day, Rick.
And the pitch is in the dirt.
You know, stay away from that middle of the plate and hit some of the corners. And
Blake Fairweather is the hitter, batting 250. Popped up, foul territory. Hedela coming over, and he makes the catch. Dylan Hedela with the running catch in foul territory.
That was a great play, Rick. Great play. You know, Dylan is very athletic for his size. He's quick, and
he was talking with Dan and me a little bit earlier before the game today, and he was talking about how he'll hit one that's normally a stand-up triple for some of these guys, and it's all he can do to get to second base.
I disagree. I think
he showed a little bit of speed right there. Yeah. First pitch was a ball. And a strike called to Aaron Bigham.
Medina's throwing hard.
Check swing. Strike called. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the 1-2 pitch. That's outside for a ball.
Another great pitch, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. That one's a little bit low. Count goes full. Aaron Brigham at the plate. And the payoff pitch. That just missed outside for a ball. Two down, runner on first. And that brings up Vinny Wheeler. And the pitch is down low, bounces off the shin guard of Hidala, and he has to chase it down. Brigham heads over to second. One ball, no strikes. And the pitch, strike called. Vinny Wheeler trying to get a batting average this year. Another pitch for a strike.
Nice little breaking ball.
One ball and two strikes. And the pitch swung on and missed for strike three. So, for the Hilltoppers, no runs on no hits, no errors, one left on base. And we've played an inning and a half, and it's no score from Colfax as you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When it comes to your finances, security is just so important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit dairystatebank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Dairy State Bank.
And we're back here at Colfax High School, getting ready to start the bottom of the second inning. No score. Vikings and the Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers in their reverse Yankee uniforms. Pinstripes, but the pinstripes are white on a blue uniform instead of blue pinstripes on a white uniform. So leading off for the Vikings, Brian Tuchel batting .235. He'll be followed by Drew Buechner and Elijah Ansminger. And the pitch is outside for ball one. One ball, no strikes, and the pitch. That's high for ball two.
Rick, always a key spot. You know, research shows the first guy gets on, it's easier to score. First guy gets out, it's harder to score. Just, I guess, common sense.
And it's ball three. Given that, I would suspect they take the bat out of the hands of Brian Tuchel here, and he'll be taking this pitch. And the 3-0 pitch, that's high for ball four, which is why he was taking it.
Yep, good at bat.
So Tuchel on first, Drew Buechner steps to the plate, hitting .286.
Think they'll play some small ball, Rick, or?
Boy, this is a good time for it, I would think. Booth takes a look and fires. It's low. Oh, nope, he called it a strike. A little bit of a delay call that time.
Not sure about that one.
No balls in a strike. And the pitch, it's low and down to second goes Tuchel. Brian Tuchel at second. Drew Buechner at the plate.
You know, we talked about this last week too, Rick. A great at bat for Drew, just to get him over to third. Get him to third on that.
Here's the pitch, swung on a miss. He went for the high fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. And the pitch. Ground ball over to short, scooped up by Jansen. Throw over to first. That's in time, but it did move the runner over. So Drew Buechner grounds out short to first, but Brian Tuchel is on third.
Yeah, been great to see a double in the gap, but that's a good at bat, Rick. Get a runner to third with less than 2 outs.
With less than 2 out, anything into the outfield now should pretty much score a run. Elijah Ensminger at the plate. Ensminger batting 154. And the pitch is inside for a ball. Here's the pitch. That's a strike called. Counts even at 1-1. Booth toes the rubber, takes a look over at third, and delivers. That's low for a ball.
Maybe tried to take a little bit off that one.
Booth looking in, peeks over at third, throws to third, and getting back in plenty of time was Brian Tuchel, our Viking profile personality during the bullpen show, even if I did call him by the wrong name as I started the interview.
Easy to do with twins.
Oh, I tell you.
Yeah.
High pop-up in the infield. Booth circles under it and makes the catch. Two down. Tuchel had to remain at third. Brings up Zach Hedela. Hedela batting .333, was part of that combined no-hitter last Friday. He threw the last inning. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball.
I don't have a big sample size, but I like this. I like this Zach Hedela. Looks comfortable up there and looks comfortable in the field.
Something about the way he carries himself, you can just see athletic in him.
Yeah.
Fly ball out into left center field, falls in, and Hedela gets a single, and it's an RBI single.
You know, just a good at bat. It wasn't hit hard, but you know, sometimes you don't. You know, we talked about moving the runner over, Rick, and it got us a run.
And that's exactly how the strategy works.
Yeah.
Back to the top of the order, Mitch Medine at the plate. Medine grounded to second his first time up.
Hit it hard, though.
Yeah, right off the pitcher's glove.
Yeah.
Throw over to first, not in time. Hedela takes his lead. Medine shows bunt, pulls back, and it's outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Medine showing bunt again. Throw over to first. Hedela back in. It was close. You know, Joe, one of the things about getting in the pitcher's head by taking a good lead like that is you're going to occasionally get a ball thrown into the fence.
Yeah. And it takes the attention away from the guy at the plate, too.
And the throw over, and that's just what I was talking about. The ball goes into the fence. And Hedela keeps on chugging. He's going to end up over at third. And they throw the ball away, and he's going to come in and score.
Wow. Oh, you're absolutely right, Rick. You don't see that happen every day.
No, you don't. So we're going to give an error on the pitcher and then probably on the first baseman.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
So 2 errors on that play, and we're going to have a conference at the mound now as the Vikings have opened up a 2-0 lead.
Coach Fairweather's going to talk about a few things.
Probably coming out to just settle Booth down a little bit.
Yeah.
Let him know that you can't be blamed for a couple of errors, although he was responsible for one of them when he threw it into the fence.
Yeah, maybe put a little too importance on that guy on first, but
I think he was just listening to me. And he wanted to demonstrate to the fans what we were talking about.
Yeah, you could be right there. But the innings started innocent enough, leadoff walk, and it didn't look like we were going to score, and all of a sudden we got a couple.
Medine still at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. 2 down. Booth looks in for the sign. He winds and fires. Just a little bit low. He didn't miss by much on that one. 2 balls, no strikes. And it's low for ball 3. I think he's struggled enough now that I, again, would take the bat out of the hands of Medine, even though he's got such a good batting average. There's a called strike. Make him show he can throw you a strike.
Yeah.
Here's the wind in the pitch. Fly ball out into center field and snagged out there by Quinn.
Hit it hard again.
So in the second inning, the Vikings come up with 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 2 errors and nobody left on base. So we've completed 2 innings, and it's the Vikings 2 and the Hilltoppers nothing. And you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When circumstances leave you with this, contact Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax. Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax provides state-of-the-art rust repair, paint repair, glass repair, dent removal, or straightening. In short, Morgan's Auto Body can do it all. Whether you've been in a minor fender bender or a major collision, Morgan's will restore your car to its original condition and get you safely back on the road. That's Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax, 409 Cedar Street in Colfax, or call at 715-962-3557.
Getting ready to start the 3rd inning. Vikings have jumped out on top 2-0.
Rick, a big 2-out hit by Zach Hedela.
And then he showed some of that speed that he has.
Yeah, good athlete. And what do they say? This is a big inning, for Mitch and the Vikings. They score, and you want to hold them here.
Yeah, you want to shut the door and not let them feel like they're going to get back in. So due up for the Hilltoppers is Klinger, then back to the top of the order with Quinn and Bright. And the first pitch is high for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside, ball 2.
Ooh.
That didn't miss by very much.
No.
Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Or check that's right field. We have a roof out in front of us here, so sometimes when it takes off like that, it's kind of hard to tell. It was corralled out there by Beekner.
I couldn't see it.
Jaden Quinn up to the plate, struck out his first time up. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 2. Quinn is really chasing pitches that are not that close to the strike zone.
Yeah.
I think it's a breaking ball that's got him really stymied. Here's the pitch. Fastball high, fouled back out of play.
I like Medin's 0-2. He's had a few guys 0-2, and, you know, it hasn't been terrible, but, you know, definitely not a great pitch they can hit.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, dropped by Hedela, but the throw to first to complete the strikeout. That's going to bring up Noah Bright. That's the 4th strikeout for Medin so far.
Yeah, he looks good, Rick. I think that breaking ball is almost a slider. It's a late, not a huge amount of break, but late, and I like that pitch a lot.
There's the pitch.
There it is again.
That was a flat-out curveball that had him bailing out, and it came right down over the plate. Line shot straight up the middle into center field for a base hit. That's going to bring up Peyton Thune. That's the first hit of the game for the Hilltoppers. That's the first hit in 2 games given up by Medin. Peyton Thune. He bunted into a sacrifice bunt his first time up. And the pitch, curveball called strike, throw down to second, and they got him at second. Hedela made the put out as Thune will stay up.
That was a great throw.
So, no runs, no hits, or 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. We've completed 2.5, and it's the Vikings 2 and the Hilltoppers nothing, and you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Plumbing problems got you down? Let the skilled folks at H&H Plumbing in Colfax make sure everything is flowing just as it should. Or maybe you're thinking about adding a gas line for a new stove, fireplace, or hot tub. H&H Plumbing can help with that as well. H&H Plumbing in Colfax, established in 2000, has earned a 5-star rating on Angie.com. So, whatever your plumbing needs, call H&H Plumbing in Colfax at 715-962-4155.
Getting ready to start the bottom of the 3rd. Due up for the Vikings. Mason Yarrington, Dylan Hedela, and Ashton Greenwell. Yarrington is 0 for 1 today. He grounded into an error by the second baseman, Klinger. Kind of got hung up in the feet of Klinger, and he couldn't find the handle on the ball.
I sure like Mason. He's just a great kid from a great family and just worked hard, keeps getting better every year. You know, just like Mitchell Medine.
Shows a little bit of speed.
Yeah. Great teammates.
Yarrington steps in. Booth still on the mound. He delivers. Ground ball to short. Picked up by Jansen. Throw over to first. And they just barely got him. Max Jansen with a pretty good throw over to first.
Yeah.
That's going to bring up Dylan Hedela.
I think Dylan walked on 4 pitches the first time.
Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's high for a ball. It's almost like they're pitching around Dylan.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Just outside, ball 2. Here's the wind and the pitch. Hedela hits a blast out into left field, but under it is Blazer, and he makes the catch.
Hit it pretty hard, not exactly on the barrel, but right at him.
So that's going to bring up Ashton Greenwell. He fouled out to the catcher, Thune, his last time up. I'm sure he'd much prefer to hit one the other direction. First pitch is a called strike at the knees. And shot out into center field, falls in for a base hit. And that brings up Cade Anderson. 2 down, runner on first. First pitch is a called strike. Anderson flew out to center field last time up. Booth at the belt, throw over to first.
He likes to go over to first.
Greenwell back in. Brushes himself off. And the pitch is high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Greenwell takes his lead. And the 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Ball 2. Booth looks in and delivers. And a called strike. Counts even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner on first. Cade Anderson at the plate. And the 2-2 pitch. That's high for ball 3. So it's traveling time now for Ashton Greenwell. Full count, 2 down. Greenwell goes, and a ground ball right back up the middle. Throw over to first, and it pulls the first baseman off the bag. That's going to be an error on the shortstop. And it moves Greenwell over to third. So runners on the corners, 2 down. Be nice to see a little 2-out rally here.
Yeah. I think you're going to see him go, Rick.
I would think you're right.
See what Glenwood does.
And there he goes. Line shot out into left field. That's going to bring in a run. Brian Tusho with a base hit to left.
Another big 2-out hit, Rick.
Here's the pitch. Check swing grounder right back up the middle. Throw over to first. And they're going to say they got him at first. Drew Beekner almost beat that out. But for the Vikings, they do pick up a run on 2 hits. There was 1 error, and we had 2 left on base. So we've completed 3 innings, and the score, Vikings 3, the Hilltoppers nothing. And you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Triple Threat Training was founded by the 3 Vavra brothers from Menominee, Wisconsin. All 3 brothers played Division I baseball, and all 3 have played baseball at the professional level. Triple Threat Training is located just south of Menominee in Downsville. Featuring 3 batting cages, 1 full-length pitching mound, and an all-turf surface, Triple Threat can meet your baseball training needs. If you or someone you know is looking to expand your baseball skills, give Triple Threat Training a call at 715-664-8669. That's Triple Threat Training in Downsville, Wisconsin.
So we head into the top of the 4th inning with the score. The Vikings 3, the Hilltoppers nothing.
Got a couple of big 2-out that really helped the cause. You know, Hedel and Tuchel. I think if Mitchell Medine can keep getting ahead, they're going to have a hard time. They're going to have a hard time with them.
I think you're right. Thune, who was at the plate when Hedel picked off the runner, swings and misses for strike 1.
I like that breaking ball.
He'll be followed by Max Jansen and pitcher Booth. High pop foul off the screen. Nice catch by the umpire. Right off the screen, umpire turns around and pulls it in. Who says they can't play? 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. That's going to bring up Max Jansen. Struck out his first time up. And the first pitch is a ball. Medine has 5 strikeouts so far on the day.
He's throwing well.
Just missed a little bit high with that one.
Yep, first 2 just a touch high.
2 balls, no strikes. Jansen, the leading hitter for the Hilltoppers. And the pitch. That just missed. 3 balls and a strike. And it's outside for ball 4. Jansen draws the walk.
Didn't miss by much, Rick. I think all 4 of them were close.
That's going to bring up Stephen Booth. He flew out to center field his first time up. Big, strong kid. Medine steps off the rubber. He's going to kind of walk over. They're playing a little cat and mouse over there at first base with Max Jansen. Throw over to first, and Jansen gets back in. Jansen takes his lead, and the pitch is high. Throw it on to first from Hedela. Not quite in time. Jansen gets back. The pitch was a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Jansen with his lead. And a strike called. Counts even at 1-1. Medine peeks over at first and throws to first. Back in time. Well, if nothing else, he's going to make sure Jansen ends up the day with a dirty uniform. Medine delivers. Ground ball over to third. Picked up and thrown over to first. And they're going to call him safe. It fell out of his glove. And safe at third. We're going to call that an error on Hedela over at third on Zach. So we have runners on the corners. And a fly ball out into center field. Moving over is Anderson. He does not get it. He misjudged it. In to score is Jansen. And Fairweather is on second.
Hit it hard. Like it carried a little farther than Kate Anderson thought there.
Jansen scores. Swing and foul tip back into the screen. Stephen Booth on third. Fairweather at second. Aaron Brigham at the plate. Medine delivers, bunted, and he looks the runner back. And they got the put out at second. And the runner at second.
I don't know how you're going to score that run, Rick.
Huh?
I don't know how you're going to score that one.
Well, it's just a put out at second, but yeah, it's 1-4 on the put out. And I think Brigham gets a fielder's choice. So Blake Fairweather heard a little something from his father on the way off the field. He kind of got stranded off a second.
Yeah.
And the pitch is high. Throw back down to third, and the ball gets away. As Hedela threw it, it bounced right off the helmet of Vinnie Wheeler, who's at the plate. 1-1 is the count. Medine delivers. It's high for a ball. And the pitch is fouled back into the screen. Evens count up at 2-2. And the pitch, strike called. So Wheeler goes down looking, but the Hilltoppers do pick up a run on one hit. There was one Viking error and 2 were left on base. So after 3.5, it's the Vikings 3 and the Hilltoppers 1, and you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking Baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, April 27th, when the Vikings host the Boyceville Bulldogs. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School Baseball on Thursday, April 27th.
There we go. It works better if I turn my mic on. We're back here at Colfax High School. Rick Olson, along with Joe Doucette, Dan Petchow on the camera. Vikings with a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th inning. Due up for the Vikings are Ensminger, Zach Hedela, and then back to the top of the order with Mitch Medine. Stephen Booth still working on the mound for the Hilltoppers.
He's pitched well, Rick.
Yeah, he hasn't let the Vikings open up a huge lead or anything.
No.
Go 9. Doing here.
So up steps Elijah Ensminger. He popped out to the pitcher his last time up. And he lays down a bunt right in front of home plate, throw it on to first, and they got him.
You know, Elijah runs so well, but he just didn't get it out there far enough.
There are times when dropping a bunt to stop dead like that right in front of the plate can be a good thing, but that wasn't one. Not when you're trying to bunt for a single.
Yeah.
And a ground ball out into left field, just out of reach of the third baseman. Base hit by Zach Hedela.
He's got 2 for 2 again.
That was just out of the reach of Bright.
And we had talked about in warm-ups that Thune had a good arm, and you got to get it away from him if you're going to get a bunt hit.
Back to the top of the order, Mitch Medine, who's 0 for 2 today. Grounded to second, and then flew out to center field. Hit the ball hard both times.
Yeah, he did.
And here's the pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. Booth fires over to first. Now they've got him in a rundown. Hedela coming back towards first, puts on the brakes, heads towards second. Booth tosses it towards the second baseman, and Hedela gets tagged out. Caleb Klinger got Hedela.
You'll have a lot of numbers in that put out.
I just put down in my book, caught stealing.
Yeah.
2 down.
It wasn't a classic pickle defense, but it worked.
No, and one of the things I noticed is they kept running him towards second base, and I was always under the impression you get that ball to second base and chase him back to first.
Yeah, I think most people would agree with you.
No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Ground ball back to the mound, throw over to first, and in time. So Medine grounds out, pitcher to first, and the Vikings go down kind of 1-2-3.
Yeah.
So we've completed 4 innings, and it's the Vikings 3 and the Hilltoppers 1. And you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Simplify your life. Pleasant Valley Properties provides affordable housing and homes in communities in Wisconsin, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. They have staff available to help you locate the home that best meets your needs and desires, as well as service staff that maintains the properties. Contact Pleasant Valley Properties at 715-226-6200. Call today and let them help you get into the home of your dreams. That's Pleasant Valley Properties, 301 Bremer Avenue in Colfax.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Sunday, May 21st, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Tilden Tigers in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:05 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Sunday, May 21st on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And yeah, we will have Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball here on NLWN-TV, but right now we've got Colfax Viking Baseball as we head into the top of the 5th inning. Vikings on top, 3-1.
Good game so far.
Mitch Medine on the mound, and he fires the first pitch right down the middle of Main Street for a strike. Here's the wind and the 0-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt for a ball. You know, every now and then the sun peeks out from behind those clouds, Joe, and it warms up here, and then it ducks back in behind, and it's chilly again.
Yeah, it is.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball out to short. Scoop, fire at first, and oh, they're going to call him safe. That's going to be an infield hit for Caleb Klinger. That'll bring up Jaden Quinn. Quinn is 0 for 2, struck out twice.
I didn't have a good view. Was it close play, Rick?
It was very close.
Yeah.
Throw over to first, and he's back in time. There's the pitch. Ground ball right back into the screen. No balls and a strike. Runner at first. Throw over. He's back in time. Here's the pitch. Bunted down the first base line. Picked up by Medine. Makes the tag. And Medine missed the tag, flipped it over to first, and he beat it out. think we're going to call that an error on Medine for not making the tag.
I think I'd agree.
Pitch is high for a ball. Runners at first and second, nobody out. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Medine fires, that's a called strike. Swing and a miss for strike 2. This is Noah Bright. Swing and a miss. Bright goes down on strikes. Brings up Peyton Thune. Thune is 0 for 1. Struck out looking. Also delivered a sacrifice bunt back in the 1st inning. And I thought we had a substitute going on. The umpire's writing. I don't see a substitute out there. Did they?
I don't see anything either, Rick.
They didn't put a courtesy runner out there, did they? I don't see one. So Thune steps in. And the pitch outside for a ball. Runners at first and second, 1 down. Vikings up by 2. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short, or to third. Steps on third, throw over to first, and they complete the double play.
Nice play.
That goes down as 5 unassisted to 3 for a double play to end the inning. So no runs on 1 hit. There was 1 Viking error and 1 left on base. After 4.5, it's the Vikings 3 and the Hilltoppers 1. And you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your car has lost that showroom appeal, give Kyle's Buff and Shine a call. Kyle makes it easy to bring that shine back. Not to mention, he comes to you. Kyle does exteriors, interiors, and even has an ultimate detailing package. When Kyle is done, your car will look nearly showroom new. Oh, by the way, Kyle also details anything that flies, drives, or floats. Call 715-556-2062 to book your next detail with Kyle's Buff and Shine.
Back here at Colfax High School.
That was a nice play by Zach Hila, Rick.
Over at third base, he kept his head in it, didn't panic.
Yep. Infielders are taught to stack information. If the ball's hit, here's what I'm going to do, and no hesitation. And he really looked smooth there.
Nice scoop, step on third, and throw it over to first.
Yep.
He didn't hurry his throw. He knew he had done the right thing already. He had gotten the lead runner, and the out at first would be a bonus, so he didn't have to rush it or anything. And
if the ball's hit to his left, he's probably going to second and turn a conventional double play, but that was sure a nice play.
Leading off for the Vikings, Mason Yarrington, who's 0 for 2. Got on an error and grounded to short. There's the pitch, foul back out of play. Here's the pitch from Booth. Line shot foul down the third baseline. So it's no balls, 2 strikes. Stephen Booth on the mound for the Hilltoppers.
Fast-moving game.
It is. I'm not going to complain. It's kind of chilly out here. I don't mind it being fast-moving. Booth toes the rubber and delivers to Yarrington. It's outside for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Just missed that outside corner.
Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for ball 2. Counts all even at 2-2. Nobody out. Mason Yarrington at the plate. And it's high and away, and the count goes full. Here's the wind and the payoff pitch. Line shot out into right center field. It falls in for a single, and Mason Yarrington is safe on first.
That's great at bat. You know, down 0-2 and battled back to full count, and
got a hitter's pitch.
Yeah.
That brings up Dylan Hedela. Hedela drew a walk and then flew out to left. And the pitch is high and away.
You know, the umpire very consistent, doesn't like that high one. He tends to call the lower one.
And the throw over to first. Back in plenty of time is Yarrington. Stephen Booth getting ready to deliver. And the pitch is in the dirt, gets away from Thune.
I like him back there. He blocks the ball well, throws the ball well.
And the 2-0 pitch. That one's low for ball 3. Booth looking in, peeks over at first and delivers the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Had the green light.
Yes, he did. But tell me if I'm wrong, Joe. Even if you have the green light, it better be a perfect pitch.
Yeah, you want it to be a strike for sure.
And foul back, and the count goes full.
I never had to worry about it back in the day. I usually got the red light on something like that. So.
And a chopper down to third base, picked up, throw over to first, and they just got Hedela, but he moved the runner over. Bright scooped it up, threw it over to Brigham, and Hedela is out at first. Yarrington at second. 1 down. And the pitch. That's a called strike.
Good pitch, good pitch. Start him with the curveball.
This reminds me a lot of the second inning.
Yeah.
Yarrington takes a big lead. Pitch is outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Vikings want to get a little bit of insurance run here. And the pitch. Fly ball out into left field, shallow left field, and the ball falls in. It was just out of the reach. I think that's going to be a base hit because I don't think he was going to come up with that.
Yeah, great effort. Yeah, Max Jensen had a great jump, just couldn't quite get it.
Unfortunately, Yarrington, because of the placement of that ball, was not able to advance. So we have runners at first and second with one down. Kate Anderson at the plate. Flew out to center. Got on an error by the shortstop, and the pitch is high for a ball. They were giving Kate a hard time for ducking.
Another big spot in a close game. You know, 2 guys on, 1 out, and
good time to produce a run or two.
Yeah, and for Glenwood to, you know, to get a couple outs.
Pitch is outside.
These are the battles that decide games.
2 balls, no strikes. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. And the pitch. Fly ball out into right field. That's going to burn him out to the fence. We have 1 runner coming in. And Greenwell is at third base. And Kate Anderson comes through with a double.
Wow, great
off the
at
right
bat.
field fence.
Boy, he turned on that. I didn't see it too good. Did it come close to going out?
Hit just before it got to the bottom of the fence. Hit the ground just before it got to the bottom.
Okay.
And looks like we're going to have a pitching change possibly because Thune has scampered into the dugout to get out of his equipment. And we'll have to see who comes in. I'll tell you what, we're doing a pitching change and we're going to find.
Okay, I didn't hear him.
Okay, so we'll let you know what happened right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes. If I could be you, and you could be me for just
V and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to take you out to the ballpark for Colfax Viking Baseball. Our next game will be on Thursday, April 27th, when the Vikings host the Boyceville Bulldogs. Our coverage begins with the Bullpen Show, where we'll warm you up for baseball action starting at 4:40 p.m. That's Colfax High School Baseball on Thursday, April 27th.
Okay, as best as we can figure it out, now pitching is Peyton Thune. And I'm trying to see. Who's behind the plate? And I think it's Stephen Booth.
I do too.
And the first pitch is low for a ball.
Yep. The 1-0 pitch is low. Two 2-0 to Brian Tuchel, who bats 6 for the Vikings. Ball inside, 3-0. Vikings got Greenwell on second and Cade Anderson on second. Greenwell on third after the big double. The 3-0 is right down the middle, 3-1. Ball 4. Tuchel walks. They'll bring up Drew Beekner, the second baseman. Big spot for Drew. First one's a fastball right down the middle. Bases loaded, 1 out for the Vikings. Inside, 1-1. I think a big spot for Beekner, one of the school's best upcoming athletes. Beekner hits one down the line. They go home and they throw it away. RBI for Beekner. 1 run will score. Greenwell scores. Actually, it won't be an RBI, be an E5. Drew did a good job of putting the ball in play. Greenwell scores. Making it 5-1. Now up is Elijah Ensminger. Still bases loaded and 1 out. First pitch by Thune is a nice fastball in the outside corner, 0-1. Second pitch is low, 1-1. Booth with a nice block. Here comes the 2-1. Grounded to short. He's going to go. Little hesitation, but he pumped that home and then he went to first. 6-3, but that's an RBI for Elijah. Cade Anderson scoring the 6th run. Two outs for Zach Hedela. He's 2 for 2 on the day. First pitch is low. Second pitch is low in the dirt. Here comes Tuchel to score.
Zach, you got this.
Our main man, Rick, is back.
Well, mostly anyway. So the Vikings opened up a 7-1 lead. And the pitch is a called strike. And Zach Hedel at the plate. Zach is 2 for 2 today on the day.
Yeah, he's having a nice day.
And the pitch is low, and Zach draws the walk.
Rick, I'm surprised on the stats. This is Thune's first appearance on the mound. Looks like he throws the ball very well.
Okay, so let's do a quick wrap up here. Well, how did Brian Tuchel get on base?
He walked.
And I'm assuming Greenwell and Anderson both scored?
Yes, they did. Drew Beekler got on an E5. Third baseman went home. Made a bad throw.
And Beekner's on third right now.
Yep.
And then what happened to Ensminger?
He grounded out to short.
So there are 2 down?
Yep, 2 outs.
And a 2-2 count. And the pitch, line shot right into the glove of Max Jansen by Medine. So that ends the 5th inning for the Vikings, and they picked up
I think they got
3
4.
runs? 4 runs?
Yep, they got 4.
Oh yeah, there's the other one. 4 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits. There was an error and 2 left on base. So after 5, you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
And Zach Hedela goes to the mound. So Medine threw 5 innings. And he gave up 1 run. And that run was earned. He walked 3. Struck out 7, and he gave up 2 hits, 3 hits.
He had a nice performance.
And the first pitch is a called strike.
Throwing some good ones now. Here we go.
Peyton Thune, and it's just over over the glove in left field. Mason Yarrington is over playing third base now. Now, I had Thune.
Yeah, I did too.
I think they batted out of order here.
Oh, no, there was that pickoff, I think, Rick. So, is that what happened?
No, I had him in that, grounding into that double play.
I did too.
Throw down to first is not in time to Max Jansen.
Yeah, I got that too. 5
Throw
unassisted.
over to first.
3.
Yeah, 5 unassisted.
That's interesting.
And a high pop foul out of play. No, it's
he's
not
got
out
it
of play. It's in play. So 1 down. Runner on first. Brings up Stephen Booth, who's now the catcher.
You know, Mason Yarrington is third infield position that I've seen, and he looks comfortable at every spot.
It's kind of nice to have a few guys like that.
Yeah.
Need a third baseman? Yeah, there's one. Heedle delivers, swing and a miss. Brother pitching to brother. I think this has happened a few times in the past.
Yeah.
Out in their backyard or something. Pitch is high for a ball. Runners going, high pop up. And it's hauled in out there at second base by Drew Beekner. And we're going to have a courtesy runner for the pitcher out at first base. Logan McVie is out there. He's running for Thune. And a ground ball foul.
Yep.
By Fairweather. Fairweather's 1 for 2.
Yeah. A ringing double that last time.
And then he got hung out to dry when Brigham grounded into a fielder's choice.
Yeah, on that bunt play, yeah. I think he thought the guy ahead of him was going and he was going to go with him, but he threw on the brakes.
Oops.
Yeah.
And the pitch. Fly ball out into left center field. It falls in for a base hit. So Fairweather is safe at first.
Big, strong kid, Rick.
So now there are 2 runners on, and that brings up Aaron Brigham. So McVie is running out at second for Thune. And Fairweather at first with 2 down. And a called strike. It's 0-2.
That was Hidala's breaking ball.
Hidala delivers. And they call the third strike. It got him at the letters.
Yeah.
So, no runs on a hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base.
I think he got 2 hits.
I think you're right. I hesitate to count that first one. But anyway, it's the Vikings 7 and the Hilltoppers 1, and you're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, May 6th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the Rock River Rampage from Beloit, Wisconsin. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-2 begins with Cowboy kickoff at 1:40 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cowboy football on Saturday, May 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-2.
Back here at Colfax High School. Peyton Thune on the mound. Okay, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Vikings is Mason Yarrington.
Yarrington started that big 4-run inning with a great at-bat. We had talked about Rick with, starting out 0-2 and battling back to get a hit.
And a line shot right back up the middle, went off the pitcher's leg, throw over to first, and they say they got him. Nice stretch over there at first base that time by Brigham. It went off the pitcher's leg over to Jansen at short, who fires over to first for the putout.
Must have been a close play again, Rick.
It was really close. Here's the pitch to Dylan Hidala. It was high and inside for a ball. And now the pitch. That one almost got Hidala. Dylan's 0 for 2 today. And a walk. That's low for ball 3. Flew to left, grounded to third. And the pitch is ball 4. So Hidala draws the walk.
And they're having trouble throwing him strikes.
It's going to bring up Ashton Greenwell, who's 2 for 3.
Yeah, he's had a nice night at the plate.
Couple of singles. One to left, one to center. Left-handed hitter, I think he ought to hit one to right now. Just share the love.
Yeah.
And the pitch is low. Runner takes off for second and in safely.
That's a courtesy runner, but I'm not sure who that is.
Bryson Tuchel
Is it?
is the courtesy runner out there at second base for Dylan Hedela. One ball, no strikes, one out. And the pitch is outside for ball two. Doing it the belt, and he delivers. It's outside for ball three.
He's struggling a little bit right now.
He's having a hard time finding that strike zone, isn't he? Bryson Tuchel takes a lead at second. And the pitch. Called strike. Ashton Greenwell at the plate. The 3-1 pitch swung on a miss. Full count now to Greenwell. Boone looking in, and the pitch. It's outside for ball four.
Mine was like a fraction of a
So runners at first and second. That brings up Cade Anderson. He doubled his last time up.
Big hit. You know, kind of broke this one open.
And the pitch, swing and a miss. And a strike called.
And definitely a pitcher's pitch. That was tough to hit. He just painted that outside corner on Cade.
2 down. That's going to bring up Brian Tuchel. High pop-up, foul territory. Oh, drifted back fair, but Wright came in and made the catch. So, for the Vikings, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 were left on base. So, after 6, we head to the 7th inning with the Vikings on top, 7-1. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
So important. Dairy State Bank's online banking and mobile app offers dozens of new and enhanced real-time alerts. Whether an ATM withdrawal is made or a login to your account failed, you'll instantly know. So now, the technology that makes it easier to manage your money is also making it safer. Visit dairystatebank.com or call to learn more. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Dairy State Bank.
We're heading to the top of the 7th inning. Zach Hedela trying to put this one away for the Vikings as they're on top 7-1. Vikings trying to even up their season record at 3-3.
Yeah, they played well.
Due up for the Hilltoppers, we have Reba and Klinger and Quinn. Ground ball back to Hedela at the mound. Throw over to first. And Reba grounds out 1-3. That's Brody Reba. That's going to bring up Caleb Klinger. Klinger's 1 for 2. Soft liner hauled in out there by Drew Beekner. 2 down. And the last hope for the Hilltoppers is Jordan Quinn. He's 0 for 3. Struck out twice and got on an error by the pitcher. And it's fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch is high for a called strike. Got him at the letters. So the Hilltoppers down to their final strike. Here's the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that'll do it. For the Hilltoppers in the 7th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Final score here in Colfax, it's the Vikings 7 and the Hilltoppers 1. And we'll be back with a summary of this game in Viking Download right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform at attracting what you want, you first need to know what your soil is working with. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, serving Western Wisconsin.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
Thank you for joining us for today's Colfax Vikings baseball game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. This has been presented for the private listening and viewing use of the tuned-in audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction, in any form, without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and Colfax High School is strictly prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Download, where we take a look back at today's Colfax Viking game.
Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family.
Time now for Viking Download, with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
Okay, we are back here at Colfax High School. They're going to have a little bit of JV action going on out here in just a couple minutes. But let's wrap up this one because the Vikings end up on top by a score of 7-1. And the Vikings picked up 7 runs on 7 hits. They committed 1 error. And the Hilltoppers 1 run on 3 hits. And Joe, how many errors did you have for them?
I think they had 5, Rick.
5 errors. And actually, in some respects, that could be the difference in the game.
I think so. Coach Secra talked about making the plays, and Colfax Vikings did tonight. Timely hitting, another key area.
And stepping up to join us right now is Coach Secra. And, well, Coach, this is a much happier result than the last time we had you, picking up the 7-1 win. Nice pitching performance by Mitch Medine.
Yep, Mitch came in, he threw strikes. That's kind of why he's our ace right now. And Zach Heedle has carved out a little spot for us. When Mitch runs out of pitches, Zach comes in, he closes the door for us right now.
And that's looked really good. The last, if we could turn the clock back a little bit to last Friday when the two of those combined for a combined no-hitter. Granted, it was a 5-inning game, but still no-hitter's a no-hitter. And
yep, anytime we can throw the least amount of pitches, we'll take that, just because with all the pitch count rules, it's tough for a small school.
And the sticks came through for you. They put some runs on the board, gave them a little bit of cushion to work with, and the fielding was considerably cleaner than the last time we saw you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said at the beginning, our goal is to be playing our best ball come tourney time, and right now we're kind of playing our best ball. Mitch Medine, he had 3 hard hits tonight right at people, otherwise he would have been 3 for 3. But I'll give credit to the bottom of our order tonight. They kind of picked up the slack for our top of the order kids today.
Well, you have Zach Heedle went 2 for 2 and a walk. I mean, that's getting on base all 3 times. And
Kate Anderson, that big double broke open and close. At that time, a 3-1 game, Coach Secra.
Yeah, that was huge for us. Before he went up to bat, I said, hey, can you turn on one and hit a double for us? That'd be huge right now. And
exactly
lo and behold, he did it. So,
you've evened up the season record at 3-3, and Boyceville Bulldogs on Thursday. What do you know about them?
They're going to come ready to play. Mike Romhelt always has them ready to play. Their fundamentals are usually always pretty strong. I know Chase Hollister might be throwing against us. He's a pretty good pitcher, but we're going to throw Mitch again. He stayed under the pitch count, so we have him ready for Thursday too.
Well, very good. Congratulations on the 7-1 win today, making the record 3-3, and we'll be back with a final wrap-up right after this timeout. You're tuned to Viking Download on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
And we're back here at Colfax High School. And Rick Olson along with Joe Doucette. Dan Petschow running the camera for us today. Joe, your thoughts about this one?
Yeah, I was very impressed. Glenwood was a game team. Coach Fairweather does a great job. He coached them right to the end, but, we talked about that formula. Good pitching, timely hitting, and a little better defense tonight, and exciting to see.
It was, and that's a big win, gets the Vikings back to that 500 mark on the season, and gives them a little bit of confidence going into the Thursday's game with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, the Dun St. Croix is always a strong baseball conference when you got the Mondovis, the Elk Mounds, the Boyceville, and Spring Valleys, who's usually pretty good. And I like our team. We talked about that last week. That a great coaching staff. They're going to work hard and learn from their mistakes.
And they're good kids. They're willing to learn.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, like we said, there is a game coming up on Thursday, Joe. I'm going to be here. How about you?
You bet. I'm excited. Yeah. I know Coach Secret talked about Coach Romheld, who, another good coach in the conference, and they've had a great run here the last 6-7 years, and they'll be fun to watch.
Well, don't forget to join us on Thursday here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV as we bring you the Colfax Vikings taking on the Boyceville Bulldogs. Coverage begins at 4:40 with the Bullpen show, followed by the live play-by-play action. Also, don't forget to join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Eau Claire Cowboy football. Our next game will be Saturday, May 6th, as the Cowboys travel to Beloit to take on the Rock River Rampage. Cowboy kickoff begins at 1:40 p.m., followed by live play-by-play action. The girls softball team is going to take on the Boyceville Bulldogs on Thursday as well, and the first pitch for that game is scheduled at 5 p.m. And this weekend, this Saturday, the Colfax High School prom is going to be held. Chance for all these kids to get all gussied up and have some fun that night. And also, don't forget that today's Colfax Viking baseball game is brought to you by Anderson Bridges, the Colfax Animal Hospital, Dairy State Bank, H&H Plumbing, Kyle's Buff and Shine, Kyle's Market, Menominee Eye and Optical, Midwest Environmental Consultants, Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, Morgan's Auto Body of Colfax, Pleasant Valley Properties, Slayton's Technology, Triple Threat Training, and Whitetail Golf Course. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. For Joe Doucette and Dan Petschow, this is Rick Olson. Final score once again, the Vikings 7 and the Glenwood City Hilltoppers 1. You've been tuned to Viking Download on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Viking Download with a talk about today's Colfax Viking baseball game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.